Have you ever caught yourself doing something that you've been doing for years, and then all of a sudden you just stop and think, wait, why am I still doing this? Well, you're not alone, because that happens to a lot of people after 50. And honestly, I think it's one of the best things about getting older. You start calling stuff out. You start saying things like, no, that doesn't make sense anymore. Now look, I grew up in the Midwest in the 80s. I'm talking about BMX bikes, spending quarters at the arcade. And just like most of you, I spent my 20s, 30s, and 40s following a script that I never actually wrote. Do this, act like this, want that. And it wasn't until things started falling apart for me, really falling apart, that I started asking better questions. So today, I want to walk you through 5 things that flat out make no sense after 50. And I promise you, once you see these, you can't unsee them. The first one, people pleasing and chasing approval. Now, picture this. You spend days dreading a conversation. You rehearse it in your head, and you even lose sleep over how the other person is going to react. And then you finally have the conversation, and they don't even care. And look, I get it. In your 20s, managing what people think of you actually kind of made sense. You were building your career, meeting new people, figuring out where you fit in. But after 50, the return on investment for chasing other people's approval is basically zero. I spent years, I'm talking years, trying to be everything to everybody. And you know what it got me? Anxiety, a job I hated, and a lot of dinners that I just didn't want to go to. Here's the truth nobody tells you. After 50, you have genuinely earned the right to disappoint people occasionally. That doesn't work for me is a complete sentence. And the people actually worth keeping in your life, they'll respect the real you, not the performance. And real quick, I know this isn't for everybody, but if you know my story, I started my YouTube channel at 46 years old. I help people over 50 turn their life experience and career skills into a thriving YouTube channel using my wisdom content method, which is the exact method I've been using for over 9 years to grow my channel to over 500,000 subscribers by just taking my life and my work experience and turning it into content that people actually enjoy, because the stuff you've been through, that is content. If that sounds like you and you're serious about getting started on YouTube, click the link below in the description or in the pinned comment and book your discovery call. Next, holding on to grudges and old anger. This is a big one. Okay, I want you to think of someone who has wronged you 5, 10, maybe even 20 years ago. All right, you got them in your head? I know I got one. Now, ask yourself, are they thinking about you right now? Probably not, but you just thought about them. And that's the thing about a grudge. It's like letting someone live in your head rent-free. And I've carried some stuff for a long time. Failed businesses, bad relationships, and people who just let me down. And here's what I figured out. The person who hurt you has almost always moved on. You're the one still carrying the weight they put on you years ago. And your body doesn't know the difference between a real threat and you replaying an argument from 2009 in your head at 2 o'clock in the morning. The stress is real either way. Letting go isn't about letting someone off the hook. It's about unhooking yourself. I'm going to say that again because I think it's really important. Letting go isn't about letting somebody off the hook. It's about unhooking yourself. After 50, you start doing the math on how many good years you have left, and using them to stay angry is just a terrible investment. Number 3, treating your body like it's still 30. This one is hopefully going to make you laugh because we all know better, but we all still do it. There is a moment, and if you're over 50, you know exactly what I'm talking about, where you do something totally normal, something you've done 1,000 times, and your body sends you a very clear message that it did not sign off on that plan. In your 30s and 40s, you could skip, sleep, eat like garbage, skip the doctor, and mostly get away with it. After 50, the body starts keeping score. And it keeps score out loud. Here's my favorite analogy. Your car gets more scheduled maintenance than most people give their own bodies. You wouldn't skip an oil change for 3 years and then act surprised when the engine blows. But somehow we do that with ourselves all the time. The small, boring habits like sleep, moving around, going out for a walk, drinking water, actually going to the doctor, those become the big levers after 50. And it's not about trying to look 30 again. It's about feeling good enough to actually enjoy the next 30 or so years. That is the goal. Number 4, living by rules that were never actually yours. At some point in your life, somebody handed you a script like I talked about earlier. Graduate, climb the ladder, save everything for later, act your age, don't rock the boat. And for a long time, probably too long, you just went with it. I know I did. My dad worked the same job his entire life, so I figured, okay, that's what success looks like. My first job out of college was recruiting. I did cold calls all day using a phone book. Yes, a phone book. From day one, I knew it wasn't for me, but I stayed because that's what you were supposed to do. And here's what I want you to think about. Most of the rules you're following were never actually yours to begin with. They were your parents' rules, your culture's rules, society's rules. After 50, it's worth stopping and asking, do I actually believe this? Or is this just what I was handed? Someone decided that people over 50 shouldn't start something new, shouldn't take risks, shouldn't change direction. But who was that person and why did we all listen? I started a YouTube channel in my late 40s and I broke basically every rule in that script. Here's the thing, rewriting your own rules at this stage isn't immature, it's what experience earns you. And that's exactly why I started my YouTube channel. I threw out the script. I stopped doing what I was supposed to do. Now at 54, I help people over 50 turn their career, their failures, and their life experience into a thriving YouTube channel. I call it the wisdom content method, and it's what I've been using for the past 9 years. Because here's the thing, rewriting your rules, that is the content. So if you've been thinking about starting a YouTube channel and you haven't scheduled your discovery call yet, make sure you do so now. Click the link below in the description or in the pinned comment. Number 5, postponing joy for a later that isn't guaranteed. Now we've all got a list, right? The trip that we're going to take someday, the thing we'll do when the kids are grown, that hobby we'll finally pick up when things slow down. But here's my question. When exactly is someday? Because I'll be honest with you, I spent years just surviving, driving Uber at night, cleaning windows in the morning, putting everything on hold until things were more stable. And I get it. Sometimes that's just life. Sometimes you have to grind through it. But at some point later, stops being a plan and just starts being an excuse. The conditions are never going to be perfect. There will always be a reason to wait. After 50, most of us have watched enough people miss their later to know it's not something you can count on. And research actually backs this up. Experiences bring more lasting happiness than things. The memories from a trip, a random adventure, a Tuesday afternoon where you just said yes to something fun. Those compound in a way that a savings receipt never does. Joy isn't a reward for finishing everything on your to-do list. It's something you weave into how you're moving through life right now. The permission to enjoy your life doesn't come from outside. You have to give it to yourself. And here's the thing, less stuff, fewer obligations, more space to breathe. That's what makes joy actually possible, which is why I want you to watch this video up here. I put together a video called 10 Things You Must Sell Before You Retire. Most people have no idea how much useless stuff is just sitting around the house, collecting dust, weighing you down, stuff that could actually fund that someday list we just talked about. It's the perfect next step. So make sure you watch that video. Thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.